Before we get started really quick, just want to preface and little disclaimer here that the trades I'm placing today are simply just for example purposes. It's not investment advice in any fashion. We're just showing you how to use the platform. So let's go ahead and get into it. And also too, this is a active account. So this is a live real account. We're placing real trades and all the fills you're seeing today are real trades. So this isn't a demo or dummy environment. We're slinging stuff. So hopefully we make a little profit. Maybe Scott will keep me on for another day, but let's see how it goes. So off the bat, I want to show you guys how fast, reliable, and then also actionable the platform can be. Now, it might be going a little quick here, but that's just because I want to show you as an end user, once you get familiar with this platform, how quick can you navigate through? How quick can you place trades and close a position? Now, right now we're looking at S&P futures at the top of our platform. If we wanted to set up a trade here, I'm just going to go through it real quick just to show you how quick we can do it. If we're on our trade tab here, we can go, oh yeah, I want to set up a spread like we're saying in the chat about maybe 20 days out on S&P futures right here /ES. We can go to 28 days right here. That's 28 days until expiration. We can see that's October 10th. We can click on that there, and then maybe actually let's do 38. So we'll go 38 days, and then we can set up our spread. We can buy our long leg, clicking on the ask, sell our short leg, the bid. We got our order price here. Maybe we'll step it up to the NAT price, 125, review, and then send. And now we've sent that order and we're filled in our position. On our right side panel here, and you guys, I'll show you how to pop this up if you don't have it. We can see the order that we just placed. We got filled on our trade. And then we can also see our position open here as well. If we go back to our positions tab, we also, and let me just go ahead and filter out these accounts. We can check out our position here that we just opened on ES. If we want to close it, all we got to do is just click on both of our legs here. We could also do it through the trade tab, but just click on your legs, close position. We're back in our order ticket. Maybe we'll tick it down a little bit and review and send order. And now we're out of the trade. So in just a few clicks, really fast, you can get in and out of a trade on the platform with speed. You know, if you are comfortable and ready, you can get in and out of trades very, very fast. On top of that as well, as we're going through trades, maybe we are having an equities trade. And when we're setting up an equities trade or an equity options trade, it's going to function the same exact as we did with the futures there. But if we have our position open and maybe we want to roll that position, all you got to do is left click on both legs. You go roll expirations. Maybe you want to roll it out 94 days for a 5-cent debit. Maybe we'll crank it up to 20 cents there. We can review and send that order. And now we are working in order to close our existing position and open up a new position or roll it to the December contract. You can see that working order here. And then once you have placed that working order, maybe once that position is closed, right now equities are closed. It's 3 CST. So we need to wait till the next market open for this order to potentially get filled. But we can also track, and maybe we were closing this position. We can check out past trades in Amazon here, maybe looking back 180 days or 365 days. We can see this trade here that we had originally, this vertical spread that we opened this morning. Long spread, we paid $1.69, then we rolled it for 45 cents. And then at the top, we can see our existing position and our total P&L. So as you're going through your options trades, there's good information for tracking your trades. It can be very fast. It's just all around a very well-rounded platform, and that it offers you all the tools and functionality that you might need. However, if you're just looking to fire off stuff quick, you can just get through it, check out your status, and then you're good. So that might have been a little bit quick and you're going, okay, hey, let's slow down here. Let's back it up. So we can go back and let's just go ahead and talk about an example options trade. Let's think about some trade inspiration. Maybe you're thinking about placing an earnings trade. And how can you tell what symbols have earnings on coming up? We can go into our watch list here on the left side, and I'll start using my tools here. But we have our watch list here on the left side, and that's going to give us just a list of preset symbols, either based on some parameters. But we could go here, maybe set it to earnings, all earnings, and we can see a list of potential symbols. And as we're clicking through, you see at the top of the platform here, and even if we go to overview here, at the top of the platform, our active symbol is updating. We can find symbols with earnings coming up. And maybe in this case, I knew one symbol that had earnings coming up was TSM. You can also just type that in at the top of the platform. And then we have Taiwan Semiconductors here at the top. Sorry, my Zoom tools are going over the top. We have the bid and ask, the name of the company, IV rank, a lot of information. And then even on our right side panel, we have a bunch of quote details, a little small chart that's showing us a daily chart. You can go up to a year too. But while you're in here, you go, okay, want to trade TSM. Let's go back to the trade tab. We can go in here, see that earnings is actually this purple line here. So we're going to set up a trade right afterwards to set up earnings. So we could do maybe just the October 20th expiration. And maybe we want to set up a strangle so we profit if it trades within a range. We could click on the short leg, clicking on the bid here, and you can actually see this orange bar here that's showing us the expected move for this options chain. It's 5.13. So we can drag and drop our legs as we're setting up this trade in TSM up and down. And you see our order ticket below is also updating based on our parameters. So I actually have quite a few things in the order ticket. Let me clear that out and set that up again. But we can drag and drop, change our order legs. And what you also see here on the left-hand side, which is really nice, is your profit and loss zone. So this green area is showing your profit zone at expiration, and this red area is showing your loss zone. So as you're setting up this trade, you're seeing, hey, what's my max profit? What's my max loss on this trade? These figures here. What kind of theta am I getting for selling this strangle? Maybe is it slightly bullish or bearish? In this case, we got negative delta, so it's slightly bearish. And then as we adjust that, you see all these figures here updating. Max loss on a strangle is infinite, so it's not going to change. But if we maybe wanted a little more granular view, or a lot of this analysis mode, this kind of the chart of our profit and loss zones, all you got to do is just go into table mode, or up here, actually trade mode, sorry. Right now we are in table mode, but you go into trade mode, go into curve, and then you go into analysis. Let me get rid of that drawing. Analysis here, and now we have our analysis chart here on our strangle. So we can kind of see, if we zoom out a little bit here, we can see our profit and loss zones. We can drag and drop our trade and adjust our order in more of a visual format based on our break-even points. And if I get my dialog box here on info, as we're scrolling our mouse, we can see, hey, if I were to set up this trade and it expires at about $92.50, I'll have max profit on this trade of $81 at expiration. So it's nice for setting up your options trade to hop into this analysis mode. And if we wanted to then send a trade from here, all you got to do is click review and send, double check the order details that everything's set, and then you can send the order. And now you have a working order in TSM right here in our positions tab too. And on our right side, there's our working order. If we wanted to replace it, maybe change the price, all you got to do is right click, click replace, maybe enter in a new price at $2, click review and send, and then we're out of that past order, working a new order. And if we wanted to cancel, right click, cancel. So again, this was just really fast, showing you how quickly you can go through setting up a trade based on some metrics and send it off and have it working, cancel, replace. It's all very fast once you kind of get a grasp of these simple aspects of the platform. So now we're going to slow it down a little bit, take you into a stock order. Right now we're in the extended hour session, and then we'll kind of cover some of those topics that we were talking about earlier, setting up spreads, trading maybe a strangle as well, or any of our other tools. So if we wanted to set up a stock order, it's as simple as clicking the bid or ask at the top of the platform. So right now we are looking at TSM. Maybe if we wanted to pull up FDX, one of the past symbols we were searching, we could click on FDX here. And now we have FedEx here at the top of our platform. But maybe we also want to just search for Ford, which is F. Now we have Ford as our active symbol. If we're looking to buy stock, maybe we want to be looking at its chart as well. We're curious on the bigger chart. You can pull up a chart for the symbol by clicking on this chart button here. But now we're looking at chart, we're thinking, okay, I like where the pricing's at. I want to go ahead and buy. How quickly can you go ahead and place an order to buy shares on Ford? Well, all you need to do is just navigate to the top of the platform, or really anywhere on the platform where it has a bid and ask for this symbol. And if you click on the ask, you're going to be buying. If you click on the bid, you're going to be selling or shorting the shares. In this case, we're just going to do an example stock order, placing an opening trade. We can click on the ask here at the top of the platform. So Ask, it's a little counterintuitive where ask has an S in it. You think it's selling. B has a bid in it. It's buying. Nope. Opposite way around. Bid is selling. Ask is buying. But now we are in our order ticket here, buying 1 share of Ford. We can see our order ticket here at the bottom. Maybe we want to up it to 100 shares. We could up it to 100 shares, change our time in force to extended hour because we're in the extended hour session. And then we can go ahead and ship it off. We were working our order and we got filled right away. So now we have 100 shares of Ford open. That's how quickly you can go ahead and open shares of Ford. And what's nice too is we were on that chart earlier. We can see our cost basis for that position. We just bought 100 shares of Ford. We can see our cost basis. We just bought it at $12.54. We can also see that order here on our right side panel. Maybe if we wanted to place another 100 shares at the same, just place the same exact order, you right click, click similar, and that'll set it up too. But that's how quickly you can do it. It's just a couple clicks, you have your order ready and you send it off. Otherwise, you can also quickly close this. Same functionality as we showed with the options or options on futures. You left click your position. You could maybe set up a bracket order, or in this case, we'll just close this guy. We can close the position. We're selling our shares. Maybe, yep, we're at the net price, set as EXT, send it off. And now we've closed our position. So super quick. Even our active trader can be faster. So for those looking to get in and out quickly or take advantage of quick price movements, it's very, very fast. You're able to adjust your orders and make actions on your trades or management on your trade very, very fast. So great platform for that, especially for options trading. Okay, I'm just going to check out chat here for a second. Show good. Okay. I see KM, you're asking, hey, how do you set up an opposite order? Good question. So we just closed our Ford position there, but you could actually short 100 shares in Ford by clicking in our activity tab here on the right, or even the activity tab in the middle of the platform here, activity. If you were to then go to your Ford trade, your initial buy order, you can click on that order, click opposite order, and now we have a short order here. So that's the opposite order. Generally similar and opposite, I'm not using very often. I'll just set up the trade the same as it was before, or queue it up again. But similar is very nice. Opposite in general, it's like if you already have the position open and you're placing an opposite order, you're just closing it. So it's the same exact thing. So not much difference there. But yeah, similar is a very nice function. But so now that we've gone through some order placement, we bought stock, we've placed an options on futures order, we've placed options on equities, or at least viewed them. What else can we find within the platform? Well, we had our watch list here on the left, which was great for parsing through a set of symbols. Maybe we wanted symbols with earnings coming up, or certain sectors, maybe symbols in energy. And then as we're scrolling through these symbols, even then, we could go to our research tab. This is a great area. This little button right here, if you scroll your mouse over, it says research and news. Of course, I drew the arrow right over it. But if we go to research here, click on research and news, now we're taken to our news on Ford. So maybe we're scanning through symbols. We're seeing, hey, what's been moving today? OXY has been moving quite a bit. What's the news around OXY right now? Or maybe, let's get rid of that arrow there too. Maybe what kind of financials are going on over the past year for OXY, or maybe SLB. I want to see the financial statements for that as well. We have all the fundamental analysis information that you may need in here. We got all the ratios. We have analyst forecasts as well and projected price targets, and even an about section where you can get a brief description of the company. You can even get a name of the officers within the company as well. It's just very nice information to have at the touch of your hands. You don't have to open up a web browser and go to another site to look up your news. It's just all here within your platform. Very nice. So just another point here is that as I was clicking through here, based on your active symbol at the top. So maybe if I were to search TSM like we were looking at earlier, that's going to update the middle panel. So it's important to understand, hey, what the active symbol here is doing. It's going to update all the rest of our information on this platform. So we have great research resources. We also have a little more of a tailored watch list here. So I'll show you where I click. This watch list icon right here. This is going to be kind of your larger watch list for scanning, maybe an equivalent to what you might think of an options scanner in a fashion that you're looking through a long list of symbols, either curated watch lists that you've made or a watch list that you've imported as well. You can pull that up into here. You can have a bunch of these different columns, and I'm going to show you guys an article here showing you how you could edit that. But here you can go through and check out, hey, I want to sort all the symbols in Tom's watch list. Tom's from tastylive, but maybe you want to check out, hey, what kind of symbols is Tom looking at? Or maybe what kind of symbols in the S&P 500 are at a high IV rank right now? I could sort by clicking on the top column here and see, oh, okay, we got some negative IV. We got a few symbols up here, LW, PODD, Insulate Corp. Not sure, not very familiar. Oh, here we go. So we got Walgreens, WBA, but you can check out and see, oh, okay, what's going on here? Why is it moving? Maybe, oh, is there a dividends or earnings announcement coming up around right now? There isn't, but we do have one coming up. We do have an earnings for WBA in October 12th. And then maybe some other metrics like, hey, what's the market cap for this company? What's the beta here? Maybe the volume, just a nice little scanner for going through symbols for trade inspiration. And then we even have a nice filter here that I think a lot of you would like to use. Oops, sorry. Clicked on CSV there. You can actually download your watch list. So hopefully I didn't dox myself too much there. But you can pull up your filter and go ahead and sort by certain earnings dates. Say I want earnings, symbols with earnings within, it's going to be in 40 days to about 70 days with an IV rank higher than 46, but lower than 77. You can set that. Now, all of the symbols in here fit that criteria. You can scroll through and see, hey, where are some opportunities? Maybe your product or symbol indifferent, you're just looking for some scenarios. This is a really nice area to start your trades. And now Anthony and everyone on the desk here that's helping out in chats and QA, they are tossing in some links in chat, but I just wanted to show you guys too, if you wanted to edit these columns, or maybe you want to find a glossary, hey, what do all of these columns mean? All you got to do is just click on this little question mark at the bottom of the platform. If we click on that, launches up your browser here, and then we are taken to the Help Center. And we could just type in, and let's get rid of that drawing. Just type in watch list here. And you can go create a watch list. This is an article that's going to show you how to create a watch list on all of our different platforms. If my computer wants to load, I'm just lagging on my side because of Zoom. But you could also go column glossary, and that will also position in watch list tab column glossary, and you're going to find a definition for all of these columns. So we have over 400 Help Center articles here, really good with keywords, so definitely check it out. I'll be calling back to this on some other features, but for example, I saw someone asking earlier, how can you place a bracket order on an option spread? You can type in options here, maybe options bracket, work on the keywords, and we can see bracket orders here. Click on brackets, and then we have a video and also written instructions on how you can set up OCO, one cancels the other, or OTOCO, one triggers and one cancels the other, take profit, stop loss order. That's all it is. You're setting a stop and a take profit on the top side. So that's what a bracket is. You can find all those instructions in here, either written or video, super nice resources. So I'll come back to this a little bit later, but always like to give the Help Center a shout out. So that's where you can find some instructions, just a little too much details going into how to edit these. But the watch list, once again, very nice for trade inspiration. Maybe you're clicking through fundamentals, the watch list, and also our chart while you're looking around for symbols. You can go to the chart here and pull up a chart all the way back 20 years. You can go all the way down to 1 minute data as well here. Bunch of different chart types. We could go align, and let me just get rid of this indicator here. Also clear our drawing, but we have over 300 different studies and indicators on our chart. Some basic ones. I know I personally like to use MACD. You can add that in there, or maybe a simple moving average as well. We could type in SMA, get SMA, add that here to our indicators. And now we have an SMA line on our main chart. Let's just go back to the bar here. We have an SMA line and also our MACD indicator underneath. So ton of studies and indicators on our charting package if you're into technical analysis, or a little bit of combination of that with fundamental analysis. And then also, to a point, we had shares of Ford. I think we closed it earlier, actually, so our cost basis won't show. But you can see your cost basis here. And even to a point, I like to just show this off. This is a cool little feature. But say if we're buying one share here, and let's go ahead and just place it at maybe 12.25, a little bit low so it doesn't fill. If we go to our chart here, we can actually see that working order for buying that share Ford. If we were to double click and then move, or essentially click, drag and drop, we can increase or decrease, either place it lower. So we'll click, double click and move. And then you're going to place your new order. So there we go. You click and then you click and drag. I was just firing off my click there. So you can click and drag. It's just nice functionality on the chart here in terms of editing your orders. It's kind of similar to our active trader tab that I'll show you guys in just a second. If we also want to just cancel this order, you can left click it and then click the X button. Now we are out of the order. So nice. Cool, cool. Ken, does the click and drag work for selling as well? Yes, sir. So if you are setting up a closing order on some shares, so I'll just, once again, let's fire off some trades. Let's get it going. Maybe we'll make a little bit of dough in the meantime. So we can buy 100 shares of Ford here. We just place that order, and then we can go into here and place a closing order, close, or even then, let's show you guys a bracket order because that's kind of fun. If we click here on Ford, slow down a second here for all you guys, but if you click here on positions on your stock order, right click and then go to bracket. That's where we can place that take profit stop loss. We click on bracket and it opens up this nice little bracket order window where we can see our order entry where we open this trade, and then on the right is our take profit and stop loss. Maybe we want to crank it up till maybe like 10% on the downside and a 50% profit take, or well, let's share. So maybe that would be quite a big move for Ford. So maybe like 10%. We can click on review and send that order. And now we have our bracket order working, and you could already see it on the right side, but now in our chart here, we actually do, it's a little cluttered here because I got a bunch of stuff going on, but we do have our bracket order where we have our stop loss underneath, our take profit on the top side. And you can click, drag, move that up, click, drag, move that here. It's super nice, especially if you're trading stock, to be able to do that on the chart. And then we also have some dedicated charting tools or grid mode, but this main chart, or even on this right side chart, you could do it any of those areas. So awesome. That was just a brief on our charting, watch list, and research. If we wanted to also, this is very important, especially for those of you that have a second monitor. If we go down to our Tasty Charts tab here, this is where, especially for an individual that likes to have a lot of charts open, you got a second monitor up on the other side of your screen, or you have like 6 monitors. Let's be realistic. I know a lot of us do. So you have your 5th monitor up here and you want to have all your charts on that. You can go ahead and go to our Tasty Charts tab here and go to this little 4 chart window. You can go into there and then you can click on this arrow here at the top. So if you click on this arrow here, that's actually going to detach it from your platform. Let's give it a go. So actually it'll detach it here. We can drag it off. We can move it around. So to a point of like, you like trading options and you want to view multiple charts at the same time, this is really nice. You go back, you get to our chart tab here on the left, you go up here and you detach it, drag it off. Depending on your screen resolution, you can get up to 4 charts, but you know, we're building it out. And you can do all of the technical analysis. You could do drawings. You could add those indicators just for gigs. Let's toss a drawing on there. Maybe we want to add in a trend line. We could add that in there. We got a couple trend lines working, you know, all that jazz. We can add that in to any of these charts, or we can just embed it back in there. But, you know, I just personally like to have those charts on another window. And then also just in terms of like formatting as well, we have this right side panel here. You can collapse it or actually embed it into your platform here, kind of like I have here, by clicking on this first arrow that I drew in the top right, the second arrow. Right now I clicked on it, so it's not embedded in there. It's actually a little panel that you can collapse and expand, but these 2 buttons here are going to help you change your orientation of how this is set up. If you don't see this button, it just means you're working on too small of a screen for it to be able to fit. So you just need to either expand or mess around with the platform zoom settings. Okie dokie. So that was a nice overview of our charts. We also have the follow feed here and the tastylive live network. So the follow feed, these are traders from the tastylive network. You can check out, hey, what kind of trades they're placing. Maybe you get a little trade inspiration, or you can also go to the little TV box here, and that will launch up the tastylive stream right now. Because I'm streaming on Zoom, or at least hosting on Zoom. I think it's probably, okay, there we go. So it actually started playing, but my computer just gets a little bogged down. But yeah, so that's where you can get a little bit of information maybe on the market. You want to check out the live stream. And then also you could do that to have the live stream, the Tasty Live live stream up in your top right panel here. If you click on Tasty Live there. So nice to have the stream up if you are a fan of the show. So good stuff. Ricardo, an example for options on futures. Yep, I got you, my friend. So I think that kind of goes over a majority of the main kind of intermediate, beginner to intermediate tools. We definitely have some super fancy stuff. I'll just tease it here for a second, but you could go into the capital requirements window as well. We have a very fancy risk analysis tool. So I clicked on cap rec up here. If I click on my Amazon position, this checkbox, and go to risk analysis, we can go pull up this risk analysis tool. And it's kind of given us a breakdown of, hey, what are my potential profit and losses based on certain percentage moves in the underlying or the market in general. A little more advanced tool. If we wanted to learn more on this risk analysis tool, you can also do it with queued up orders. Again, just click on this question mark here, type in risk analysis, portfolio risk analysis tool, and now you can find a breakdown of, hey, what is going on in this tool? What do all of these different figures mean? How can I interpret this to help better manage my risk, especially for those of you trading undefined spreads or any kind of naked options too. The risk analysis tool can be really good for understanding, hey, maybe where do I need to go in and manage my position, or what are the potential losses I might incur if this trade goes real south. So a nice feature there, just kind of cool, fast stuff. And then, yeah, so that's kind of the overview of our platform. I want to now just open it up to Q&A. There's definitely a lot of stuff that I might have not touched here, especially in the trade tab in terms of the active trader mode. We could talk more about that if anyone's interested. I see Leslie, hey, can you show an example of the pairs trader tool? So yep, I can do that for you. Futures actually just closed because it's 4 o'clock. So if we had set that off a little earlier, might have worked better. But if you want to use the pairs trader tool, so this is especially for our futures traders, you can go into trade here and then trade mode, active, and then go to pairs. And now you have this little pop-up window here. And drawings. And then within our pop-up window, we have our buy order and our sell order. So when you're setting up a pairs trade, it's always going to be one side is a buy, one side is a sell. In this case, we are buying one S&P future, and then we have a little, future in there. And then, we can check out also the notional spread here, essentially what is ES minus YM? What is that net notional amount? So right now, if it's 1-to-1, it's about 49,000 or 50,000. Or if we up the contracts to 2-to-1, it'll also account for that as well. And then we can trigger our trade either based on the difference in that notional amount on a greater than or less than basis. So maybe if we're thinking, we'll go ahead and trigger it when it reaches a little bit higher. We can set that up there. We can either use the arrows there or even type in a number. So if we want to just type in 50,000, and now this might hit some limits on the CME side, depending on how big it is, but we could send this order off. Right now, it's actually getting rejected because the futures trading session is closed. But we could start working this next pairs trade when the next market opens up. So these are marketable limit orders. So that's why we can't send a limit order and have it working for the next session. But normally, if you're just buying a S&P future without the pairs trader, you wouldn't run into that. So But again, futures market's going to reopen in 57 minutes anyway. So it's good break to take some dinner or at least some food for the day. So hopefully that helps answer your question in terms of the pairs trade. Any other tools you guys want to cover? Anyone interested in the active trader tool? Any kind of strategies you guys would like to see set up on the trade tab, maybe more on our charts? A ratio spread, great question. I got you, my friend. So let's set up a ratio spread. If we wanted to do that, and maybe we can just stick with Amazon here, we can go to Amazon at the top of our platform, just typing it in. We got the trade table below. And just for example purposes, let's do 38 days out. So 38 days is October 20th. It's expiration right here. We can just click on that. It's going to expand our expiration. And then from here, there's two ways to set up a ratio spread. One of the ways, they're about the same speed. First, I would say probably the easiest is to go to our strategy selector tool here at the top. This is definitely great for new traders to the platform or just new traders in general that are looking to have some help setting up their trade in terms of just structure. But you can click on strategy selector tool here and we can go to ratio spread. We could toggle maybe a long call ratio spread, short call ratio spread, just by clicking short put call. And then we can click on go. And then now we have a ratio spread here. You can actually see the difference in quantity here at the bottom of our order ticket. We have selling 1, buying 2. And if we wanted to increase so that it's still 1 to 2, so -2 to 4, we could do that. Or you can click on one of these legs and then use these quantity arrows here to manually adjust the legs individually. And the main reason here of why it might not necessarily be as easy. Imagine you clear out this order, set up these 2 legs, and then you're clicking on, you have a quantity of 1 on each side. So you just have a classic 1-to-1 spread here. If you click on quantity, now the quantity arrow or the amount goes up to 2 or 3 or 4 spreads in unison. You got to click on one leg individually and either type it in or use these arrows here to go and do a ratio. So that's how you can change the quantity of different options as you're setting it up in the order. You just need to click to select. So right now I have both selected, but if you left click, you can see kind of this gray highlight. That's how you'll be able to change it. So let's go scroll back up. We got a few asking about the active trader. Love to see it. Okay, let's do it. Again, the future session's closed, so it's not going to give us the best. And maybe we can also just show it in terms of some stock orders as well. Let's just do that. When setting up orders here in the active trader, this is simply for outrights. It's going to be for outright stock orders or outright futures orders. You can pull up a watch list here at the top. So if you're a futures trader, you probably want to pull up watch list futures all. It's going to give us all the future symbols we could trade on the platform. Or in this case, we wanted to just do it on some equities, just for example purposes. We can go into here, and then this is kind of your quick action window to set up buy and sell orders. So you actually have buy here with ask and sell with bid. Normally during the market session when it's moving right now, since everything's closed out, it's not moving, this last price would be ticking up and down. And then also you see these 2 arrows right here. Those are indicating the bid and ask. So those are going to be fluctuating, green up, red down. And as you look to set up an order, maybe want to buy some, oops, still got my drawing tool going. Maybe want to buy an order in Snap. We can click on Snap or click on the buy button for Snap. And now we can mess around with the quantity here, maybe set it to 5 shares, set it at a slightly lower price. We can do it with the arrows or left click here and just drag. It's super easy. And you can see as you're dragging, that price in the limit order is updating. So, you know, as you are working in order, so we have our working order, we just sent that. Now it's working on our active trader tab. We can see it here. This little, this guy right here, this yellow symbol. If we left click it, we've selected it. Just like that chart functionality that I was showing you guys earlier. As these prices are fluctuating, maybe I'm just like, you know what, I just want to get filled. I'm going to place it at a higher price. You can just drag and drop, move it up. And now we have canceled our past order. And now we can see that we're working at 962 here. If this was current market conditions, the market were open, we would very, very likely get filled at this price, but we've got to wait until the next market session. So maybe we want to drag it back down below and wait for the market to open, or just cancel out of that order too by clicking on the X next to that. Super quick, super nice for setting up futures and stock trades quickly as the price is fluctuating, especially for these volatile underlyings. There's some other settings here, but again, might sound like a broken record, but we do have trader. We do have a nice article here and video that gives you a rundown on how you can use the active trader and what each of these buttons and settings can do. You can really get into the thick of it there. So very nice feature for those trading the outrights. So as active trader. Stephen, does ratio spread work in futures? Depends if the CME is going to see it as a defined spread. You could get a reject, but it's simply just based on what kind of orders the CME as an exchange can take in. For the most part, it's futures, kind of options on futures get processed a little bit differently, but you can definitely get a try. Worst case scenario, you'll just get an error on the platform. So I see Gary, can you set up a butterfly? Yes, I can. So if I wanted to set up a butterfly, I could go back to the trade tab here and just like to show off this strategy selector again. If you're curious, you can go up here, click on the down arrow, and then we have our butterfly, long call butterfly. We can toggle it back and forth and click go. And now we have a butterfly set up. And two, it's going to save you that time in terms of changing the order quantity. We have the 1 to 2 to 1 that we can drag and drop and mess around and analyze here in the analysis tab too, if we really wanted to. So we could zoom out a little bit and see our profit or loss zones, as we adjust our trade here. So super easy. You could also just do the same thing by clicking on the trade tab and adjusting the quantities. So maybe you went ahead and back to the trade table here, clicked on the ask for the 10, sold the 11, and then bought the 12. So clicking on the ask here to buy, clicking on the bid to sell that strike. We can see B1, S1, B1, that's buying, selling. And then in our order ticket here, we just select that middle leg up the quantity to 2, and now we have our spread. So hopefully that helps you out there, my friend. We also have a nice tutorial in the Help Center. Saw someone asking, how can you set up a calendar spread? If you wanted to set up a calendar spread, one thing and one setting that we didn't cover in specific is the amount of strikes you have listed here. If you open up an options chain and you click on 38 days out, October 20th, and you have strikes set to all, and then even then, I mean, this isn't the best example because it's a smaller underlying, but say we were on ES here and we wanted to go October 20th, 38 days out, we could see there's a lot of strikes here. You're going to have to scroll a bunch. You're going to have to click a strike and then scroll, click another options chain and scroll. It's a lot if you have all those strikes on there. But if you just simply click strikes and maybe go to 8, that's only going to list 8 strikes for each of these expirations. And that's how you can much more easily set up a calendar spread there in 2 different expirations. So right here, we're buying the 20th, we're selling the 27th. So that's how you can set up a trade. And definitely the easiest way, if you are one that likes to set up a lot of calendar spreads, is changing the strikes here. Awesome. Tiago, what's the purpose advantage of the active trader tab? Mainly it's just speed. It's being able to view the pricing or the price action. And right now, since the market's closed, we probably could have covered this while futures were still trading, but normally you see quite a bit of price action here. These numbers are moving around, jumping up and down as you're editing orders, dragging and dropping, move around. It's just a little bit faster. There's also a safety functionality to go even faster. So it just might save you some time. Or if you're a little more familiar with this more ladder aspect or vertical style compared to maybe placing a trade in your chart or something along those lines. So Albert, can I see price by volume? You'll actually see here, this purple bar here on the right is going to show you the volume right now. Again, it's closed, so it's not going to show you the full picture, but next market open. And then too, in our help article, we go over those different tabs. So awesome. 0DT futures, good question. We do have them. If you wanted to trade 0DTE, all you got to do is just go into your trade tab, type in a symbol. In this case, we're looking at S&P futures, and then look at the amount of days until expiration. And here at the top, we have 0 days, which means September 12th, it's the day of expiration. We can click on September 12th here. And if we go on, we can pull up that. Actually, let me collapse that. Sorry, folks. But we can pull up this options chain here. So see, even then Zoom's plugging down my platform. But maybe if we just go to like TSM or something like that, we can also see it's fine. Yeah, there we go. We also have 0DT on SPY, maybe SPX as well. So if you like trading the cash settled indices, you can trade SPX, and there are 0DT or weekly options. So each expiration with that W is a weekly option. So you can essentially trade every single day, which is super, super nice. Awesome. KM option statistics. Good question. For the most part, the one nice feature here we do have on the platform is if, say, we are on a symbol, we go to our trade tab here and click on October 20th. Maybe we want to view the historical pricing of this option or of this strike in particular. We can right click here on the ask. So left clicking is to set up the trade, right clicking is to view, and then you click on view option chart, and you can see actually the options code here in the top left, but you can go back and view, hey, where has this option been trading over time? All you got to do is just trade tab, right click on the strike you want to view, and then it's this view option in chart button. Okay, that's our use. Mark, good question. It depends on the expiration. Mark was asking about if futures are cash settled or not, or at least are the options on futures. So I would definitely direct you to our article here. We clicked on that question mark, and then I typed in see me options on futures specs or anything along those lines. We'll send the link in the chat there too. But if you go here, and then you can see here the different contracts, if it's going to deliver to a certain kind of contract. So in this case, like for corn and soybean futures, if your assigned or exercises expiration, that's going to go into the future. Whereas if we get into the indice futures, the quarterlies are actually futures to cash, which makes sense because, you know, the options are expiring the same time as the outrights. But, you know, the European style options or these weekly options, those are going to go to the future. So it kind of depends on the expiration you're trading. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. What? But yeah, really great information here. You can check out all the different options we offer, when they settle, when they expire, what kind of, you know, fees you might incur, also what days are available too. So Mark, 0DT equals weekly. Yes. So 0DT will be considered a weekly expert. I mean, the thing is that 0DT just means 0 days until expiration. So if it's a monthly expiration and we are on that day, there's 0 days until that option's expiration. So it's considered 0DT. So no matter what the day, what the style of expiration, it's just dependent on if the option's expiration date is today. In this case, TSM, this September 15th, that's 3 days until now. So not the case, but if we go to SPX, we can trade the September 12th expiration, which is today, which is 0 days. That's going to be a 0DT option. When does 0DT futures expire? Good question. So again, doesn't necessarily matter if it is, you know, essentially, where do these options on futures expire? You can check it out in this Help Center article I was pointing to earlier, CME options on future specs. The time of settlement you can find here on the options expiration date. This is when those options will cease trading and expire and either get exercised or assigned, or whatever, you know, applicable settlement actions are going to happen. So for corn and soybean, markets close at 120. So that's when those options are going to stop. But, you know, maybe for the quarterly S&P future options, those actually settle in the morning. They're an AM settlement, 8:30 a.m. on that day. So it does vary based on product. If you're trading futures, it can get a little more confusing, but the CME likes to do that from time to time, or at least that's how they built it out. So, but as always, we're here to answer any question you guys got on the platform, the products, how to place these trades. Our phones are open nearly the entire day, or at least while the market is open. So if you ever want to get in contact with us, give us a call or shoot us an email. You can go to the help center too. So we clicked on that question mark here. We could go here, contact us. You'll find our phone number, our emails, and then also if you do like to chat in, you don't want to call or email, there is a chat function here that's going to help walk you through some solutions. But please, please, please reach out. We are so happy to get you guys caught up. We all started probably coming from a different platform too, as you may have, and it takes a little bit of learning, but with help, it comes very, very fast. And especially with the help center articles we have here, the videos, the recordings we have on YouTube. So we also do an options trading demo and a stock trading demo. So let's actually see what kind of demos we have coming up. So if you're ever curious and want to see upcoming live demos, you just type in demos on the help center, coming live demos, and then this link right here will take you to the page. And you can see here, this is where you can sign up. Go ahead and sign up for if you want to sit in again for our October demo, or maybe for those of you asking futures questions, you can definitely ask questions during our futures trading demo, where we'll go into specifically trading futures, maybe on the active trader tab, like we were just talking about, placing futures options trades as well, and just kind of all the quirks and questions around that. We also have an iPad platform coming up and a charting demo too. So a lot of stuff. Definitely love the feedback. So if you guys are interested, want to see more of something, please let us know. But yeah, that's it. There's going to be a recording posted to YouTube after this. Please, again, feel free to reach out with any questions or concerns. Big shout out to Anthony, Jolie, Andy, and Alex for helping out with chats. Looks like you guys all had a lot of questions. So love to see it. Everyone's interested. Love the attendance as well. It's really quite a great crowd. So hope you guys all have a nice rest of your week. We are open book over here. Check out our demo recording. We'll also send you an email afterwards, and have a good one. It's a good one. So okay, catch you guys later.